Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reacting to a video called Why the Brits Love Their Sunday Roast and How It's Made. I think that's a family thing, right? I think you go and you eat this with your family or something, and I didn't know that it was some sort of traditional recipe. I thought that it was just some sort of meal that you have on Sundays with your family. So clearly I need to watch this video to learn more about Sunday roast. So let's check it out and comment, like, and subscribe.
This is just how Britain's traditional Sunday roast is supposed to look. What makes it so dear to British hearts?
What is a doughy thing?
It's about wholesomeness, I think.
Having fun with your friends, your family.
I can never finish a roast.
What? Why?
It's not just about the roast. The side dishes are what make this a feast. So what is the best part of it?
I think this is probably similar to a Thanksgiving meal in the sense that the sides are probably the best part and not the turkey.
For me, it's Yorkshire pudding because my dad used to make it at home, so it's a good reminder of what I used to have as a kid.
Is Yorkshire pudding?
The best gravy. I hate running out of gravy. Yeah.
Who doesn't? Yeah. Sucks.
Many pubs and restaurants around Britain serve a Sunday
The
roast.
pubs serve the
In fact,
Sunday
it's the
roast. So it's not just an alcohol thing in the pubs, they also have this?
only item on the menu of the Clapton Country Club in London.
God. And they only
Up to
open on
300
Sundays?
portions are dished up here every Sunday.
In London in particular, you get a lot of people that move from outside of London, whether it's from abroad, whether it's from other areas in Britain, and so they may not be going back to their mothers or grandmothers for Sunday dinner.
Yeah.
So they will go out. So there is a big culture
I like
of
that.
happening.
This beloved roast is one of beef. Here's how to make a tasty one.
Is it beef all the
First,
time?
the meat has to be marinated in rosemary, thyme, and garlic.
Great, love it.
Now I'm gonna roll the beef to keep the shape of the beef so that it doesn't shrink and it doesn't go explode on one side.
Oh, that's why they
The
tie
meat
it.
is seared for 10 minutes on each side and then roasted at 125 degrees Celsius
That's where
for
the roast
another
part comes
45
in.
minutes.
Isn't it with butter?
Perhaps the most British part of the Sunday roast is actually the Yorkshire pudding.
Okay, so not a dessert.
Everybody has a different recipe and method. The same amount of milk, same amount of whole eggs, and same amount of plain flour, and just mix it in.
Okay, so a cake, but without sugar and salt.
But how does the Yorkshire pudding get its shape?
Wait.
The trick is lots
Okay, hold on. This doesn't have any sort of condiments. What does this have?
of hot grease in the baking dish. That
Hot
puffs up
grease.
the batter.
That goes for 20 minutes for 170 degrees.
I'm concerned there's
Yorkshire
no
pudding
salt
is
here.
rather heavy. That used to be a way of avoiding too much expensive meat on the table. What does it taste like?
A little bit stodgy, a bit doughy, and if you get it just right, the perfect level of crisp.
Basically, it tastes like a fried bread.
Yeah, I was thinking it was
Tastes
bread.
like anything specifically.
Yeah. It's just bread, basically.
Almost like a crispy, savoury pancake, but bigger.
Yeah, I love this texture. I kind of want to have it
Along
now.
with cabbage and various other root vegetables, the marinated and oven-baked potatoes are critical to the Sunday roast
Oh my God,
experience.
potatoes. This
You
looks
can never
so
go wrong
good.
with crispy potatoes.
Soft on the inside, crispy on the outside.
Yeah.
You
Incredible.
can't beat potatoes, roast potatoes, you know.
When and where did the history of the Sunday roast begin? Roast beef became popular in England under Henry VII during the 15th century.
A very long
the king
time ago.
provided the yeoman guards at the Tower of London with weekly rations of beef, which gave rise to the nickname beef eaters. That it became a dish eaten on Sundays has to do with the church.
Oh, because, yeah, Sunday was your day off.
You go
and
to the church
you
on
went to the
Sunday
church.
morning, and then you would come back, and it was almost like a family get-together, certainly to begin with, socialising after going to church.
For those who love the Sunday roast but don't eat meat, vegetarian and even vegan
Oh my
options
God.
are available.
What do they have?
A nut roast, for instance, or the vegan strudel beef Wellington style.
Oh, I want to
Inside
have
we got
that
a mix
one.
of truffle, wild mushroom, leek, carrots, onion,
so good.
cooked with thyme and rosemary and garlic, and we got vegan cheese and vegan breadcrumb to bind
Oh my
it.
God, I'm so
And we
hungry
cook it,
now.
we wrap it and we roll it with the pancake and a puff pastry.
And you still get the Yorkshire
Meat or
pudding?
no, one question remains. Can a Sunday roast be served up on any other day of the week?
Probably not, right?
I don't really think you can have a Sunday roast any other day.
Yeah.
Part of the reason is you
Says
have
who?
the time on a Sunday.
Absolutely not. That is no.
No.
A Sunday roast has got to be on a Sunday.
What if you're cooking
Otherwise,
it
it's
on a
not a Sunday
Monday?
roast.
It's just
Fortunately, a single portion is so rich and filling that it's easy to make do with less on the other weekdays. And next Sunday is always just around the corner.
Well, now I'm hungry. I'm so hungry after seeing that. I want to have the vegetarian one so incredibly bad. I love the idea also that they have, that they offer vegetarian options, because sometimes, not always, but sometimes, the restaurants are a little bit they can accommodate you, but it's not necessarily as in they have vegetarian options. In this day and age, yes, there's plenty of restaurants that do this. Although, they don't really have these sort of vegetarian option. They just have other dishes, which, of course, it's lovely. You enjoy that. Yes. But I like the idea of just, there's a specific vegetarian option in case, for the Sunday roast. But I get it now, because the Sunday roast is not, you're not having, I don't know, chicken for the Sunday roast, right? From what I could understand, it's always beef. And you need to have the Yorkshire pudding, and you need to have the sides, as in the crispy potatoes and some sort of salad. But it's always, it's the dish itself. You can't just do Sunday roast and we're having pizza for Sunday roast. I don't think that's a thing. Otherwise, it wouldn't be Sunday roast, right? From what I could gather. So I like the idea that they have the vegetarian option, and not the vegetarian option or vegan is not just, we're making you a sandwich. It's not that. It's a twist. It's basically very similar to, obviously you can't replicate exactly, the Sunday roast, because there's no vegetarian beef. But I like it's a sort of a beef Wellington style, which, is very similar to what other people are having. But, you have the vegan or the vegetarian option, which I love. I want to have it so incredibly badly. Maybe I could replicate this at home. It's not going to be the same, obviously. It's going to be prepared by a chef. But I think this could be easily replicated, maybe easily, putting a lot of I don't know, effort into the easy, but who knows, maybe you could do something similar. The other things that I'm very curious about is, do people, because they mentioned, you go to your mother's or your grandma's, for Sunday roast. Obviously, I get the idea. It's just a communal thing for families, and then you go, obviously, I would assume everyone gets together, on Sundays, or, you go to your parents' house, right? So there are several siblings, and if there are siblings, the family, they have siblings, those siblings have families, then you go to your parents, with your family, to, your other family, your original family. And it's like your parents and your siblings. But what happens, I want to know the logistics. Does it happen, because again, if it's just a couple, let's say a married couple, we're doing Sunday roast, with grandma, your grandma, my grandma, my parents, your parents. How do they go along with this? Do they just, they take turns, and it's sort of, one weekend your house, the other in mine. And again, it's a thing of being sort of older, I would assume, because they mentioned grandmas, but they also mentioned moms, right? But what happens if you don't have kids, and there's a couple, or maybe you don't have a partner, but then, can I invite people? You're alone, you live on your own, and did you invite people for Sunday roast? Can you do that? Can I be, hey, come to for Sunday roast? And you invite, your own grandma for this? Or that's not done? It's sort of, no. It's the older family members. It's a sort of status thing, like, or you maybe go to your aunts, something that's sort of, you need to be older in order to do the Sunday roast? Or is it something, does a young person that lives alone, can they invite friends and family for their Sunday roast? I don't know. Would love to know, because I don't really know the logistics of this. And also, do other people help? As in, yes, you have to go only for, I assume this is actually dinner. They actually never mentioned this. Is it just for the, as a mid-afternoon meal? Is it dinner? What is it exactly? Or you can do it either afternoon or dinner. But, also besides that, do I have to bring, if someone invites me for Sunday roast, do I have to come early and be, hey, do you need help? Do I have to marinate the meat? Or no, you are supposed to arrive when the meal is about to be served? Or also, do you need to bring, do I need to bring sides to this? Or do I need to tell people, hey, like, don't forget to tell your mother-in-law to bring the potatoes? Is it something like that? Again, I'm thinking probably something like Thanksgiving, but maybe it's not that, again, because you do this every week, right? So it's just a lot. It's not, am I supposed to do this Sunday roast every single week? I don't think you can, right? And what if it also becomes a little, I don't know, in families, when people gossip, in families, obviously everyone gossips. So if it's just, and whatever, there's Sunday roast, it's not really good, but maybe again one of the cousins has the better Sunday roast, and maybe you try to skip the one with the aunt, and oh no, I want to go to my cousin because she has the best Sunday roast. I don't know, do they get dramatic, do they get gossipy about this, and does it create some tension? Maybe someone's jealous of, oh no, everyone likes the Sunday roast that maybe at the sister-in-law and not mine. I don't know, it's something I'm very curious about that, because I think those kind of things can easily transform into this. I'm kind of exaggerating, but not really. I think sometimes, again, when it comes to food and families, I think a lot of people, because it's very a part of your culture, so I think a lot of people take this very seriously, and an offense to the dish, an offense to, and a slight offense, not just, it's not you're spitting the roast as like, oh, this is disgusting. No, but any slight thing can become a big thing, and especially in families, as in, every little thing, no matter how small, can set some people off, because, it's family, and again, you love them, but there's a lot of fights sometimes over silly things. So I want to know how dramatic things can get, and obviously it's not overt, but sometimes probably does happen. I want to know the gossip around the Sunday roast culture. And again, do I need to bring something? Do I have to cook this? Or maybe it's it's the opposite. I know some people are offended if you go and say, hey, do you need some help? Because it's, hey, are you insulting my cooking? Did you not like my last Sunday roast? And you're implying, hey, maybe I can help you salvage things along because you don't know how to cook. So I don't know, maybe it's just me, maybe it's all in my head, but I am imagining a lot of scenarios in which a lot of these things happen. And I don't really know if that's how big, this part of this culture part of things are, if they are indeed like that. But also, maybe not, I guess, because the idea is for you to, you have some family time. It's Sunday, right? But I don't know, maybe I like the idea of just going to restaurants, or in this case, it's a pub, right? It's pubs serve this, so it's not necessarily as in I'm going to the pub at 1 p.m. It's not as if, oh, I'm getting drunk, or I'm having a beer at, again, I would assume you're having this after 1 because it's quite heavy, right? It's beef, and it's sort of, it has a lot of sides, so I would assume it's lunch or dinner. But I just maybe prefer the idea of, no, we're not cooking here. We're going, and maybe we're just, we're meeting you there. And as in, you're calling grandma and saying, hey, grandma, I'll meet you in at pub, whatever. So does that happen? Or maybe that's just, people go to pubs and to restaurants only probably in London, because like he said, there's a lot of transplants, and there's just a lot of people that don't have family or maybe friends nearby. So it's sort of, I don't want to lose the tradition, but I don't have anyone, I'm not going to cook this whole thing by myself. Or maybe you can, right? Can you do Sunday roast on your own? As in, I'm not inviting anyone, so I'm having Sunday roast, on my own. Is that done? I don't know. There's so many questions here. I will say though that it's, it would be a really cool thing to sort of try. Maybe this is only, lucky people that live in the UK obviously can do this, but I think if you're as a tourist, you would go obviously for Sunday roast at, at a hotel, I don't know if hotels do this, or maybe, at a restaurant, right? But you would obviously, if I'm staying there for a month, I'm going every Sunday to different places. I would love the idea of just trying several of them and seeing how they differentiate or how similar they are. I will say the more, curious part about the plate itself is the Yorkshire pudding. I thought it had some filling because I don't know, it's Yorkshire pudding. I'm imagining a pudding, and I am imagining something, dessert like. It's not a dessert. I know that the UK does a lot of puddings that are sort of, they're not exactly desserts. But I thought, they put some filling on. but they don't, which was quite weird. But now that I'm seeing the actual Yorkshire pudding, I want to have it so badly, even though it's kind of weird, right? Because it's sort of, well, what do I do with this piece of thing? But no, it's the bread. I get it now. Oh, instead of bread as in a slice of baguette, no, you have this. And I like the idea of, oh my God, yes, you have, I'm wondering if there's something, probably this is not done, but I am imagining you cut off your beef and then you sort of you put in the gravy and then you fill your Yorkshire pudding with the beef, and then you do your own little sort of thing there. I don't know. I'm imagining maybe this is something a British person would never do, but I get it's perfect. It even has, you have to fill it. So, cut up the beef and put it there, right? I don't know. But now I want to have the Yorkshire pudding really badly and the vegetarian option as well. Then that was it for today, and I'll see you next time. Bye!